All right, shalom, shalom. Mr. Brother Mawad coming to you again, out in the highway and the byway, bringing this gospel, this truth to edify the hopefully elect of Yahshua Israel, so-called blacks, Native Americans, Latinos, and Hispanics, who warn the 2/3 of our people of the impending, or actually the judgment of the Lord, Yahweh Shai, who the word when he called God and Jesus is bringing onto this earth, and in particular here in Great Babylon, America. And it's always a pleasure to let Esau the Edomite, the so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of, know the Lord, Yahweh Shai, has his eyes on your wicked, sissified kingdom, and he's going to destroy it from the face of this earth. Before we get started here, I'd like to turn the East Gable going on to Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim, Rakakadash. Babylon is the teachers, elders, and apostles, great millstone, likewise, brothers, for the truth. Thank you, carelessly feeding sheep and do brothers and sisters, tuning, shalom. All right, as you know, today is Memorial Weekend, okay? So Memorial Weekend, okay, it's basically to remember those that have died in the wars, okay, that Great Babylon America, okay, has instigated on this earth. The atrocities that this wicked, sinful kingdom has instigated, okay? So they go and they do a little ceremony, remembering those that sacrificed their life for absolutely nothing, including Lord of Jakes, okay? But let's talk about that for a second here, because what about the hundreds of millions, okay, of the so-called Native Americans, okay, that was slaughtered indiscriminately for absolutely no reason, for the sake of land and purging by this doggone wicked doggone devil? See, they don't remember that, right? Okay, as you know, that this devil, he took down all the murals. He's going to the Smithsonian Museum and these other museum, okay, and taking down any evidence of their crimes, okay, which it's already been recorded, okay, from a long time ago. The angels have already recorded, okay, all of the crimes, and you have the prophets on the highway and the byway, okay, that's reminding you, doggone Edomites, okay, you devil, okay, these are faggots on this sign right here, okay, these faggots, these are the ones, okay, the short callers of that, they're the ones behind all of that, okay. What about, okay, the transatlantic slave trade, okay, when y'all threw overboard tens of millions of so-called Negroes, okay? Do y'all remember that? Or do y'all talk about that? Nope. Okay, there's no memorial for that. So the true memorial, okay, when you take a look, okay, at all of the hell that this man has brought on our people, take a look at this, okay? Don't be played by these doggone fucking crackers on their friggin' doggone hardship that they're experiencing right now. And let's try to keep the American spirit. Fuck America, okay? Fuck Great Babylon America. Let's talk about, okay, the tens of millions of Hebrew Israelites, so-called blacks, Native Americans, Latinos, and Hispanics that you are currently killing right now, okay? That are you using this distraction out there in Iran and whatever other distraction right here, but these people worrying about doggone gas prices. Okay, what about the tens of thousands, okay, of our Hebrew Israelite brothers and sisters and, including children that are sitting down in these internment camps that you have built right now and that you'll continuously build? Okay, so this place is absolutely full of fucking shit. Okay, we're going to chant this place down there. Shalak Rayum, Mashipayim, Great Babylon, America, Babakshah, destroy this doggone place. All right? Okay? Don't give a fuck about your damn freaking doggone Memorial Weekend. Now, a lot of Jakes are going to be celebrating this Memorial Weekend. Okay? Because, as always, there's a spirit of mirth no matter what. You can be poor as dirt, but some way, somehow, okay, these people are going to find a way on how to celebrate, okay, this wicked day. Okay, let's go to the book of Jeremiah 10, starting verse 1. Okay, the book of Jeremiah 10, and starting with verse 1, and it reads, Hear ye the word which the Lord, Yahweh Shai, spake it unto you, O house of Israel. Thus said the Lord, Yahweh Shai, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathens are dismayed at them. Okay? And it goes on to talk about the fact that they cut down the tree, decorated with a star and, all these ornaments and stuff like that, which, we know is a Christmas tree, and everything like that. But here you are, okay, this man is building internment camps all over Great Babylon, America. He's building data centers, not to make the internet faster, but in fact, okay, to create a society in which they are going to watch your every move. Even coming out here on this road right here, which is a sort of like one of the main strips out here, okay, in East El Paso. Okay, they're gonna probably have, you know, drones flying around, or they're gonna have like cameras on all these buildings that's gonna be listening to you or whatever case like that. And like I said last week, and I'll say it again, Esau, you can hear everything that I have to say about you. I say it right here on the street corners, on the highway and the byway. Okay, which is basically what? Great Babylon America is going to be destroyed. The wicked is a so-called white man. Okay, you crackers come from the fucking cave. You are inferior. You are an inferior being created by the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shah as a hireling to do all the wicked things that you're doing. You can't help it. There ain't gonna be no doggone join hands together. Okay, Esau and Jacob are enemies. It's just that simple. You so-called Caucasian and the so-called Negro, Hispanic, Latinos, and Native Americans, we're not meant to get along. Okay, the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shah has put an enmity, okay, between us. Okay, so we're not meant to get along. Continue on, it says, let's go into Leviticus 21 and 5, actually. All right, because Salakia, let's go into Deuteronomy 22 and 22, because a lot of you jakes are going to use this time to go do a lot of different things. You know, you're gonna commit adultery. Okay, you're gonna get that new tattoo. Here it is, you can't pay your damn bills, but you're gonna go get a damn new tattoo because some bitch, you know, said that she think that she's cute on you. Okay? You're gonna go throw a barbecue. What you gonna throw on that grill? Pig meat, abomination. Okay? You're gonna go there and you're gonna go do all the things that the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai has spoken or has given the commandments that we are not supposed to be doing. And this ain't a time for you to jakes, okay, to test the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai. This is not the time to test the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai. Okay? He's done with this doggone place. If you haven't figured it out, okay, we get in there where probably less than 2 years, they're going to, you know, fire up those data centers, because they're building them like crazy, man. Billions of dollars are going into building these data centers. Right out here in East El Paso alone, they have like about 3 of them that they're building. 3 of them that they're building. Okay? So, and on top of that too, while these people are driving around right now, you know, with their head up their ass, they're building more and more of these super maximum internment camps. All right? So this is Deuteronomy 22 and verse 22. It reads, if a man be found lying with a woman married to a husband, then they shall both of them die, both the man that lay with the woman and the woman, so shall thou put away evil from Israel. Again, this is typically a party weekend starting from Friday. Tomorrow is going to be the day of holiday where most people get the day off from work. Oops, there's no work. A lot of you don't have to worry about that work because you don't have a damn job. All right, you don't have a damn job, so we can see how the murder's going to look this weekend. But nonetheless, you're probably going to see some fireworks. Okay, you're probably going to see, you know, the red man stand up there, you know, with his little speech. You know, you get some officers standing up there and a couple, you know, blow a couple trumpet and beat the tambourines and all that stuff like that. Okay, and they just go through the same doggone bullshit after the same old bullshit. Okay, as Great Babylon America is known for, which is what? Just trying to distract you, okay, into this spirit of continuity, which there is no continuity for this doggone place, man. All right. So if you are a man, okay, if you're a man and you lay with a woman that's already have a husband, that's adultery, okay, and the law requires that you get put to doggone death. Now, we're not going to put you to death, but we're just saying that if you're a Hebrew Israelite, so-called blacks, Native Americans, Latino, okay, and you're out there committing adultery, going out there laying with another man's wife, and he discover it and put your ass to death, then to wadi Yahweh Shemel Shai for that. You deserve exactly that, okay. But the Lord is gonna recompense you for what you're doing. You might not feel it right now. You might actually get away with it this weekend. Nothing might happen to you next week. But you know when the Lord deals with you sometime? You know, in a rough way? When you least expect it. When you least expect it. Okay, in fact, let's go into Leviticus 21 and 5. Let's go into the book of Leviticus. 21 and verse 5, and it reads, okay, they shall not make baldness upon their head, neither shall they shave off the corner of their beard, nor make any cuttings in their flesh. So no tattoos. You're not supposed to be, shaving, what they call lineup. Now, a lot of those guys that you see in like IUIC and ISUPK and certain other camps out there that look like they have that perfect lineup, a lot of them are wearing what is called man beards or kind of like a face toupee. In other words, the beards are fake. They're not real beard. So they're going into the barber shop that specializes in that, where they take the beard and they put it up there and they glue it on there, and then they kind of make it look GQ, so to speak, make it look like really good. So those aren't really beard, because when you look at how a natural beard is, so my beard is natural. So when you take a look at the natural beard, you can see right here. Okay, is it possible for me to have it lined up? It is possible, but this is how the natural curvature of the beard will look like this. Okay, it will look like that. Then that's natural. So it's not being lined up. Okay, so to speak. Those guys with that perfect lined up. Okay, usually those are face wigs pretty much. Okay, and that's why they look so good like that, because it's very difficult to line up. Okay, your natural beard like that. Pretty much the stubble is gonna grow in about a day or two. But nonetheless, okay, if their elders in their respective camp organization is speaking on that, and they know the scriptures that talks about that, then they shouldn't probably be wearing that. It's one of the minimal things that the Lord Yahweh Shemashah require. And I got it. You kind of want to look kind of good or whatever the case is like that, but there's a reason for that. We're not supposed to look cute and pretty and all that stuff like that. We're not. The majority of the men of the Lord are married. Okay, especially the older guys, or the more mature, I should say more mature guys like myself and others. We're married. Okay, and so we're not looking for anyone to be attracted to us or whatever case. If you are, that's good for you. Okay, whatever case like that, maybe you might be part of like let me see. Let me go into this here for a second. You might be part of this. This is Isaiah 4 and 1. It reads, and in that day 7 women should take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel, only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. So there's going to be coming a time where, you women might, for those of you who are single, you might be getting with one of the men of the Lord. Okay, and the Lord already knows who he's going to set up who with who based on whatever criteria that he's going to be using, or whatever the case is like that. So, but nonetheless, like that, the brothers and I can speak for myself. I don't care if you're attracted to me or not. I actually don't care. All right. I'm not looking for you, and I have a particular type that I like. Anyways, so this is about edification. So I don't need to look cute. Okay. This is about when we get in the kingdom, the Lord is going to give us our true form. Okay, which we don't know what it's going to be. But I know one thing is we're going to have everlasting life, okay? And enjoy the life that we really want to have in this life, but we can't have it because we're under the curses. And being here in Great Babylon, America is really a judgment, okay? Let's go into Deuteronomy 14, okay? And let's go start with verse 8, okay? Because as you can see right now, this it's the same thing going on and on and on in the world. Straight up for moves, gas prices now is like $4.50 a gallon average now across the country. And I did have a couple road trips I wanted to do this summer, and I'm still gonna do them. Whether the gas price is $5 or not, I don't care. There were some places I wanted to go see. Me and my wife, and we wanted to go check out certain spot, okay, or certain spots. So, Lord willing, we'll look at mainly the way things are going, as far as like, is the area safe to go to or whatever case like that. And it's not really about the price of gas. If you live in California, you're used to $6. If you're living in California, you're used to $6 a gallon of gas, and high price stuff, and so you sort of adjust yourself accordingly. Okay, but nonetheless, we know exactly the reason why you have this. What's taking place right now is being done, and every time you turn on the news, or when I say the news, I'm talking about like online. You hear them talking about, oh, we're getting close here to a peace talk and all that stuff. The stock market change, things fluctuate, blah 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 blah. The cases like that. So they're playing doggone games, okay? And you say, well, why can't this be stopped? The reason why this cannot be stopped is because this is a judgment coming from the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai. Man's going out that of the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai. So one way the Lord is going to bring down the proud, okay, these low-level Edomites, also jakes them, who this thing is kind of making me feel like something is, you know what I'm saying? I keep thinking this like ants falling down on me, So I keep feeling like that thing is like crawling on me. So yeah, I had to like pull that down. Okay, but the Lord is bringing it down like that, and the Lord used a lot of methods to humble the people. We all been humble, man. Okay, we all been humble. There's a spirit on a lot of the on us. Okay, and you can tell kind of almost like what kind of person we were in the world, because we had confidence, despite the fact you might have a lot of doors closed in your face. That you just never gave up. You just said, okay, screw it, I'll try again. I'll keep trying again. So you didn't just stay down. We weren't the type of man that stayed down, because we faced a little bit of adversity. So that's the spirit that we were built in. Same thing here. You get brothers who have like multiple channels, or who have backup channels, who have on their 13, 14, 15 channels, when they used to do, exterminate the channels, a couple years back, still didn't give up, you might have videos that go up and don't get no views at all. Like literally 0 views for like weeks. And brothers still go back and they go make another video again, because this isn't about, okay, us and our popularity, and about us having to feel really good. The Lord is the one that's gonna give you the reward. Keep in mind about that the parable about the master who gave out, basically gave out the abilities of the currency or the money to servants them to go and expand it. And a couple of them expanded it, but this one guy, he decided like he's not gonna do anything with it. He's just gonna hold on to it. Okay, and what happened? He had what was given to him taken away and given to the other ones that actually had expanded it like that. So the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai, when he gave us this ability to understand this ministry, to understand this truth, understand his word, the secret, and he parted ways with that to those that he selected. Okay, keep in mind, many are called, a few are chosen. Okay, now not because we're doing this work will come out here meaning that we're chosen to be, to the very end. And while all Hebrew Israelites will enter into the kingdom, will be immortal. Okay, and of course you have tier, okay, or ranking structure in the kingdom. Starting with the Mashiach all the way down to the 2/3 who are going to be in the kingdom. Okay. We as brothers, we hope, to be part of the 144,000, where we will continue our labor in the kingdom, but as the one that's going to teach the nations, like, look, with that doggone so-called white man, Esau, where they taught you under his rulership was all wrong. You can't eat octopus, and you can't eat cuttlefish and pigs and all that stuff. They clean the earth. They do these things and all that stuff, and et cetera, et cetera. Two men can't be doing that stuff, man. It's an abomination. Okay, so you're gonna have judgments, and these other tribes, they're going to have to readapt. Okay, under a very stringent new world order. The true new world order, okay, is under the Mashiach. Okay, under the so-called who they call ignorantly called Jesus, okay, who is in fact a dark-skinned man, okay, with white hair and white beard, okay, a very immense, powerful man, okay, and so is the Father Yahweh, who we call God. All right, so this is going to be a big change, okay, for everybody on this earth. So this is Deuteronomy 14, and starting verse 8, it reads, "And the swine, because it divided the hoof, yet true not the cut, it is unclean unto you. You shall not eat of their flesh, nor touch their dead carcass. These ye shall eat of all that are in the waters, and all that have fins and scales shall ye eat." Now, let's talk about that swine. Okay. I, for one, never liked pig. I spent a few years as a child. I think I all told about 3 years with my grandmother, who was by herself on one of the islands in the Caribbean. So my father sent me to go live with her, to go kind of be like a little helper for her for, a little bit. And man, one of her favorite food was pig feet. I hated that shit. Okay, I hated that shit. Pig feet, and turkey drumsticks. That's all she liked to spend. All she liked to get. Pig feet. Like, why can't you get the meat? Okay, I hated pig feet. I hated pig. Okay, and once you find out what they feed these pigs that they selling you, they're feeding them other pigs. So you heard of what they call it, mad cow disease? And supposedly the way that works is basically they feed the cows them, or they give the cows them meat, particularly of other cows, and it creates a problem. Okay, because they're not supposed to be cannibals. When you go on YouTube and type in how pigs are fed, and literally they will give them all kinds of shit to eat to fatten them up. And I remember the last time I ate pork, I took one bite of it and it tasted like gasoline. It tasted like somebody had poured gasoline on the meat itself. It was horrible. And I instantly, we threw it away. We threw all of it away. And this is before I knew pork wasn't, supposed to be eaten. And, they'll try to, they give some flashy term like the other white meat. No, it's not. Okay, it's horrible, but it's cheap. Okay, and it's sold as a delicacy. It's in everything. You can't get bacon on everything. Everything is made. A lot of the meat, or especially a lot of the compressed product like Spam, for example. That's doggone pig meat, man. Okay. And these things are especially created, especially for people with financial challenge. Okay, it's a cheap source of eating. If you go like in the Asian countries like that, you probably will lose weight. I remember when I went to Thailand, I lost weight. I lost 10 pounds. I was over there for 10 days in Bangkok. Me and my wife, and I lost 10 pounds because I couldn't eat anything over there, really. I really couldn't eat. Everything was pig. Everything was doggone pig, man. All the food was doggone pig, or you try seafood, 90% of the menu was doggone shellfish and shit like that. So I wound up just eating like cookies and stuff like that, and just wound up losing like 10 pounds on that trip because I couldn't eat the food. At that time, when I did go over there, I was in the early stages of knowing that I was a Hebrew Israelite. This was actually 2019. So I knew I was Hebrew Israelite. I knew about the dietary, at that stage I knew about the dietary laws. Okay, and I think I was following IUIC at that time. I was following IUIC, IS, not typically ISUPK, IUIC, Sakari, Wi-Fi, all the rest of them like that. I hadn't come across Great Mill Stone until 2020 was when I first saw them. Okay, and that basically was the beginning of what you see. Okay, right now today. All right. So it says, "These you shall eat in the water; all that have fin and scales you should eat, and whatsoever had no fins and scales you may not eat. It is unclean to you." Boy, I used to eat sushi a lot. Boy, my favorite sushi was the unagi eel. Okay, the octopus I just all the abominable stuff for sushi that I was eating, and of course, to me those were the tastiest. Of course, once I found out, I couldn't eat those. Okay, I had to, rebound how I would eat sushi. Okay, but you can see where if you're not really thinking, and you got to be on your P's and Q's, man. Like when you're going out to eat or doing things like that, because you got to really take a look and go, oh, this is this and that. You can easily slip up. Okay, let's go for example. Tomorrow is really the celebration of the what do they call it? Memorial Weekend, right? So they do it on Monday. That's kind of the official holiday. But you got a lot of people who don't know today's the Sabbath or the Shabbat. They don't know. So these people driving around, they have no doggone clue. So they're doing all of the things that you would normally do in the world, not understanding that today's is Shabbat. You think all these cars driving by me right now? There's a whole ton of cars that are driving by me right now. Okay, and they're going about their business, not understanding that that this place is a walking, ticking time bomb. Okay, it's a time bomb. This place is a time. It's on a timer. The Lord Yahweh Shemashai has this place on a timer. In fact, let's go into before we go any further here. It's Revelation 12 and 12. It reads, "Therefore rejoice in heaven, and ye that dwell in them." Whoa. Okay, so let's talk about that for a second. Who's dwelling in? Why did it say, "Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them"? Okay, that's speaking about the righteous or the hopefully elect. That's us. Okay, because we've taken ourselves out of this world. You're not gonna have brothers going to go celebrate barbecue with their family, with eating pig or doing all the crap like that. They might get together. If you're in a camp with a few brothers, they might get together and go do a little something for the brothers. Okay, but you can have. I can almost guarantee you can have a ton of camps tomorrow by the brothers. They're gonna be out there doing a camp. Okay, they can be doing a camp tomorrow. Okay, so our mindset is constantly in the fact that this place is dwindling. The Lord Yahweh Shemashah is judging this place. We can see the judgment. It's clear as daylight. Okay? It says, "Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he know that he had but a short time." So right there it made it very clear that Esau has a particular time, or has a set time that the Lord Yahweh Shemashah had given to him to do exactly what he's doing. He knows that too. Esau them knows it. The elites them knows it. You know what would be a very interesting thing to happen? If these elites actually was to come out and proclaim to the world that they have a short time, who the true biblical Hebrew Israelites are, and exactly what is going to happen, and if they actually have deep space shot of the chariots, okay, parked out in space or the second heaven, I think you'd have a societal collapse that would be so great, it would be unbelievable. How fast things will collapse. Now they're talking about bringing out, disclosing UFOs and all that stuff, and lizard man and all this other horse shit. It's like, get the hell out of here, man. Even the most skeptical, even the most, even these people out there are just looking and going stupid. Everybody knows you didn't go to the doggone moon. You get Elon Musk right now. He's coming with the largest IPO with SpaceX. Somewhere $1 trillion. This IPO is like $1.7 trillion dollars valuation. Talking about they're going to be doing colony on Mars and all that stuff. Dude, your rockets are blowing up constantly. Okay, you can get to freaking doggone the moon, which is right there. Try going to the moon and have irrefutable proof that you are on the fucking moon. Okay? Before you can come and try to talk about you're going to go to Mars. So that IPO is a joke. That IPO is a big scam. It's a big, you have a lot of investors. Of course, they have other things that's that they're going to be dealing with. Okay, of course, like 6G and AI and all kinds of other things. So SpaceX is more than just only SpaceX. They're weaponizing space, and really that's what it kind of comes down to. But they're not telling you that. They're talking about, we can try to colonize another planet. Because Esau likes to set his sights on things that he cannot accomplish. Here's a man that cannot even stand in the sun for 20 minutes. You doggone Edomites can't stand in the sun for 20 minutes. Okay? You have to create all these brands of lotions. This is why they go to these indigenous tribes on this earth. Okay, and when they see them, you see them have these like mud or some type of mud rubbed up on them. Those are usually like creams and stuff that they use to repel mosquitoes, repel the sun, UV, all those things. And Esau will grab those and take those and turn around and package it and then fucking put their crack ass face in it and sell it. Okay, sell it out here as if something that they created in a lab. They didn't do no research or create in a lab. They stole it. Okay. The Edomites do not create anything. The only thing that they're capable of doing is constantly stealing and destroying things. And the book of Job talk about that, okay? Them braying under the trees, being chased out of society because they're thieves. Okay, so this man is a damn global doggone thief. He's a global thief, all right? Let's go into, so right there it talks about the fact that the people that are in the world really is going to feel the impact of this man and his brutality and his wicked ways, because they have that hope of recovery. Let's go back to the old times. You're not going to get the old times, people. It's just going to get worse and worse and worse. And it's just going to be a matter of time before these Edomites grab the sword and say, you know what, screw this. Okay, and that time is coming. That time is coming. Now, you have these Edomites, and we're gonna go into this for like about a minute or two. Because you got these Edomites that are, and out here in Texas, they got a lot of these doggone Edomites that are getting together, okay, talking about they feel like threatened, and a couple, brothers put up some videos concerning these Edomites, who feel threatened that the so-called white man life is being threatened. They feel threatened by everybody else around them, and in particular, they're threatened by the so-called black man, all right? And I think a lot of them, they've been listening to, or they've been looking at the Hebrew Israelites speaking and preaching, which the Bible is full of violence. Okay, it is a violent book. Okay, it speaks of the violence. Okay, it speaks of the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai, who the word we call God and Jesus. Particularly the Father. Decimating entire kingdoms and stuff. So the Bible is very violent. We talk about the fact that the violence that was brought on us through slavery, okay, and through on our curses, that those violence are going to be also put on these Edomites, the ones who was actually doing it, okay. And I showed you earlier a poster here with buck breaking and them branding us and hit the nigger baby and all kinds of stuff that they put in their museum and put in their art and in their literature, that they now kind of feel like, oh wow, see. Before, when Jake only would just march carnally and go, we shall overcome and let's be equal and all that stuff, they display these proudly. But now that we come out here and we just condemning them through scriptures, it hurts a lot more. It hurts a lot more. This is why you never get into a conversation with someone that want to be a marker. Read the scriptures, man. No, you don't go with your opinion and stuff, or just like, hey, break it down and just leave, okay? Because you're not going to win the battle of carnality as far as your opinion and feelings and all that stuff. Because one thing these people have in this doggone wicked ass queendom is feelings. Lots of feelings. The men are feminine, okay? Very, very feminine. Just all feely and all that stuff like that. And their feelings and all that shit like that, man. Fuck your damn fucking feelings, man. That's why I don't like. That's why I don't like dudes around me, man. Okay, I just not had a good experience with it. Okay. Fucking feelings and shit. I'm just not that type of dude that's into that fucking shit. I like bitches, but I don't like, but anyways. This is Luke 6, and Psalm verse 23 reads, rejoice ye in that day, and leap for joy, for behold, your reward is great in heaven. For in like manner did their fathers unto the prophets. But woe unto you that are rich, for you have received your consolation. Woe unto you that are full, for ye shall hunger. Woe unto you that laugh now, for ye shall mourn and weep. And we see what's going on. Ray J supposedly got his ass kicking MMA debut. So here was a guy that was an R&B star, brother of Brandy, okay, and was the one that did the porn or the video porn with Kim Kardashian, which kind of got her popular because at that time he was, that R&B or whatever the hell he was, singing. I don't even know one song by that dude. That tells you how good he was, because obviously he's a broke-ass motherfucker right now. Okay. For the fact that, yes, sir, take his ass and go in the MMA ring till we get his ass slapped the fuck around. All right, so that career that he chose did not do well for him, but, really talking about Jake Stem, who right now, they're at the pinnacle of their success here in Great Babylon, America. Now, the crash, when Esau turned his back on Snoop Dogg and the rest of these guys, and I'm using them because they're popular. They're not the richest guys. Okay, there's a lot of so-called black businessmen that are not popular. Okay, there are a lot of Jakes that actually are not famous, that are far wealthier, okay, than these so-called celebrities. Okay, they're not popular. They're just not famous or popular. Okay, but they're known in their respective industry or business. Okay, as shakers and movers. Okay, but those that had it. Okay, let's say Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon unlearned, decided that he would go inside to talk about the people that are the short callers. Now, if he knew and if he was learned, he would know that if you're working for them, you can't badmouth your boss. It's just that simple. That's a common sense thing. And he did exactly that. And they basically took his shit. It didn't matter if he had created the shows or he wrote the shows and all that stuff. They took his shit. Okay? Because none of these guys get to that level, okay, without having to do something that's grievous, something that's abominable. Okay, so they basically took all this stuff and they forced him to write a 10-page apology letter. So if the world if the riches and the wealth and the fame didn't matter to him, he would have said, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, and stand his ground. The Lord Yahweh Shema Shai could have blessed him. The Lord Yahweh Shema Shai could have blessed him. You won't believe the things that the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai can do for you when you show that bit of grain of a faith, okay, or show that loyalty to the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai, but he didn't. He folded. He had the opportunity. He was on the stage, and he could have set, okay, the precedent. He had the popularity, he had the name brand, everything that he could have set. Okay, what could have been something, okay, where the people that are looking up to him, these starstruck Hebrew Israelites, could look, if he stood his ground and go, wow, he stood his ground, or someone like that could stand their ground and lose everything, okay, for Yahweh Shai, okay, to go out here and condemn these doggone devils, then they might have followed too. But what does the scripture say? The leaders of this people caused him to err. What did he do? He folded. And the reason is that he did not want to go, not sleep on silk sheets anymore, okay, and sleep on a mat or on the floor or just a regular bed or whatever. He couldn't give that up. Okay, so vanity took a hold of him. Narcissism took a hold of him. And now he's trapped inside there like that. So he had an opportunity and he failed heavily at it. Because our people, at the end of the day, okay, unless the Lord has chosen you to go do this work and put the spirit in you to go and actually stand your ground, you're not going to be able to do it. I don't give a fuck who the hell you are. Okay? None of us was born with that kind of courage to be like, oh yeah, no matter what. The Lord has to be dealing with you. Okay? He's not going to give you a test that's too hard for you, but we're going to get tested, and that test is coming up. We're going to get some more tests coming up to us. Okay? So you can have a brother, it could be an elder, it could be whoever the hell it is, whatever. It could be a bishop, whatever. Hot, popular, everyone like, fanboy, whatever the case is like that. Doesn't mean shit. At the end of the day, when we are separated from each other, tested out like that, the camera ain't rolling, you ain't got no internet, you ain't got no communication, all that stuff like that. That's when you're gonna know who's made up of what. Okay? But it says, woe unto you when men speak well of you, for so did their fathers to the false prophets. Okay? So if you're looking constantly for worship to be idolized and, you know, ass kissing, a bunch of ass kisses around you, or looking for ass kisses, or, you know, dudes who over respect your ass and shit like that, and all this other shit like that, be put on a constant pedestal and all that stuff, and without case like that, you're in the wrong doggone spirit, okay? And that's going to be tested too. That is going to be tested. We're not looking for that. Woe unto you. That's why it's like, nah, man. This you dress in sackcloth. People like you, good. If they don't like you, who gives a fuck? Did you know them before you started preaching? No. So what does it matter? Okay? What does it fucking matter? Okay? That's why you keep it simple. You go and you do the mission. This is the book of Psalms 10, and start verse 8. Let's go to the book of Psalms 10, and start verse 8. See, people looking for, they're looking for, what do you call it? They're looking to get notice. Okay, so you'll see some cars that pull up on the side there. They'll be looking over here. They want to get notice. You know, some will rev up their engines, you know, and, you know, whatever the case is like that. Okay? I'm not into giving notice and stuff like that. It's like when I go to the damn gym, man, the one thing I hate is someone to talk to me. Don't talk to me. All right? I'm here to work out, and that's just all there is to it. Okay? I'm not here to flirt with no dude, man. And you got a lot of dudes, they just go to the gym and they just flirt with each other for 2-3 hours. Like, what the fuck you come here for? Then they go, hey, can you squat me? It's like, nah, nigga, I don't want you breathing up on my nuts. I ain't signing the fuck up over you. Get the fuck out of here, man. This is the book of Psalms 10, Psalm verse 86. Okay, let's actually go up and go with verse 4. It says, the wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after power. Power is not all his thoughts. Why? Well, he's got a lot of worship. So if you're being worshipped as God, you get the signs to back you up. Your face is on the currency. You get machines, you know, weapons of war and stuff like that. Then why in the hell would you to be thinking about a higher power? You don't want the world to know there's a higher power. So that's why Christianity have this imaginary, you know, vision of what Yahweh Shema Shai is about. Okay, an old cracker sitting up on a fluffy cloud, who you only see when you die, and you get a bunch of these little fairies flying around him. All the prophets have the feminine feature. All the angels have this feminine feature, and everything is all just like so feminine and so fucking faggish, man. It's insulting to look at that shit, man. All right. He says his ways are always grievous. The judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffed at them like, yeah, whatever. You know, they've been going around talking about like, you know, like screw you, prophets of dooms. Well, you are doomed to be destroyed. So we just coming and just telling you what's going to happen to you, and they don't like it, and we don't care if you don't like it. And also your followers, the two-thirds Hebrew Israelites, so-called Black Americans and Latinos, they don't like it either, and nor do we care. We don't really care. We're out here for the elect, okay, or for the hopefully elect, okay. That's what we out here for. We're not out here to like be liked by everybody. So we don't give a shit. It says, he has said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall not be in adversity. Yes, you're in adversity, starting with these doggone crackers right now. They're crying like a motherfucker. Oh, I can't pay my bill, man. Someone's got to give, man. Someone's got to give. Yeah, someone's got to give. Y'all gonna grab those damn sword and go fucking slaughter each other first. You're gonna attempt to go try to overthrow your government, which that's gonna fail. And then you're gonna try to come after Jakes, and that's a whole separate lesson right there, because you doggone you crackers, man. You cracker boys, man. Okay, y'all have y'all mouth because y'all think y'all are so good at shooting and all that stuff. You're right. You are blessed with the sword, but that's the elites. The elites have the military. If you ordinary, you regular fucking everyday Joe Schmo thing, you're gonna go around and just shoot Jakes out in the street and think that there's not gonna be a retaliation. Y'all in Peter Pan fucking world, boy. Okay, Jakes have been training for fucking decades, slaughtering each other. Okay, with no compassion and no second thoughts. What y'all have not considered is the fact that the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai is going to put the spirit in Jake. That's why it says, who will rouse up Judah? Judah's a lying spell. Who's going to rouse up Judah? Sooner or later, y'all going to piss these niggas off out here. And then y'all going to understand why Jakes, okay, we're the only tribe that actually went into captivity. Okay, I think this is our 7th time. Y'all ain't built like that. You crackers are not built like that. Okay? Luckily for y'all, the Lord Yahweh Shemashah is going to kill 2/3 of his people. What if Yahweh Shemashah had waken up the entire tribe of Israel? Not 1/3, but he's going to save the entire tribe of Israel, which means what? This message would have been accepted by all our people. Now, if this message has been accepted by all our people, and if you had all our people following the right doctrine and thinking the way we do, this society would have already collapsed, because what you would have is men walking around with a king mentality, a godlike mentality. Okay, the women would be in order, which means Esau couldn't make money off our women and making them look like hoes. Okay, all our faggot brothers and sisters would repent. Okay, so you're not gonna have that. You're not gonna have participation in your pride parade and all that stuff. Okay, you wouldn't be able to sell pork, and your whole economic structure will collapse based on the fact that you would have the Hebrew Israelite coming back to their power. Okay, and obeying the laws to the best of ability. So, out of fairness and balance, the Lord Yahweh Shemashah, okay, is allowing 2/3 of the people, of his people, to remain in darkness, okay, so that your wickedness can continue to escalate, so that when he destroy you, okay, it's justice, okay, it's righteous, okay. But what if all of Israel was going to be saved in this time? Take a look at what happened to the Egyptians, okay, when all the Hebrew Israelites were saved at that time. Yeah, okay. It says, his mouth is full of cursing and deceit, and fraud on his tongue is mischief and vanity. He sit in the lurking place of the villages, and the secret places where he murdered them innocent. His eyes are privy set against the poor. His eyes are privy set against us. Of course, you could say these Edomites, these low-level Edomites, they're being impacted too. Yeah. Okay, but that's not our problem. Okay, your king is doggone treating you like shit. That ain't our damn problem. I don't give a shit if the Edomites can't eat. But you think I'm worried about fucking they're going little Johnny and Tommy and Mike and Amy eating? Now, like I say, that's your king. Your king is doing that to you. He said he crouched and humbled himself. Slaki says he lied in wait secretly as a lion in his death. He lied in wait to catch the poor. He don't catch the poor when he draw them in his net. Now you only want to get certain kind of poor or Hebrew Israelites into your net. Those are actually is looking and clinging on to society. Hey, it doesn't mean that we're just going to just throw away our life and just say, screw it, the end of the world is tomorrow. No, it just means that if it came down to it, and in particular when it's concerning like the MOTB, the mark of the beast, okay, just like with the juice, okay, or the C19 juice, what Bill fucking Gates came out with, who's not a scientist, who's not a doctor, who didn't finish up college or anything like that. I said, you got to take this or take that, or you can't have a job. And then guess what brother said? Fuck you, man. We gave it up. You can have it. All right? You can have it. All right? Good luck to you. Now they're trying to recruit back the same people that they shit on. Okay, let's go to Obadiah 1 and 13. Obadiah 1 and 13. It's the book of Obadiah 1 and 13, and it reads, thou shouldest not have entered into the gate of my people in the day of their calamity. Yea, thou shouldest not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity. Okay, so again, we're Memorial Weekend, and this man, okay, a very violent, diabolical being, okay, is talking about, his service members dying, and they made the ultimate sacrifice. Made the ultimate sacrifice with what? They weren't defending this nation. They were going over there and they're going to start fucking fights overseas. Instigators. Okay? But here it is like that. Here it is, our judgment was friggin' doggone done. We were supposed to kind of like, okay, well, we our judgment, slavery's done and everything like that. This dude kept kicking us down and friggin' doggone making things worse. More hangings, more shit, more crap. And now they want to bring back Jim Crow, and they think they want to go back and they think they can start all over again and hang us. No, you Edomites are going to hang from trees this time around. Okay, in the 21st century, you're going to hang from trees. You're going to be the one that's going to be freaking doggone hit the fucking cracker baby in their fucking head. It's not going to go like what y'all think. You see, once Jake don't have fucking doggone a piss or pot to piss in or nothing to lose, you think they're going to freaking take your shit? we see they're not taking your shit right now, which is why y'all are so angry. Because at the end of the day, none of you crackers want to step one-on-one to a freaking doggone Jake. You're not going to. I mean, if you're like 5'6" or 7, and you get an Edomite who's like about 6'5", like that, they'll step to you because they think they can beat you. But then you see in so many videos where a 5'5", 5'3" Jake, I've knocked the fuck out of these doggone weak ass little fucking doggone pedophile, man. Okay? But we already know at the end of the day, wow, Jake is gonna whoop your ass and stuff like that. And even if you freaking pull out the sword and Jake gets sword and they're gonna still take your ass down, at the end of the day, it's already been prophesied and written that Jake's is going, 2/3 of Jake's are going to perish here, one way or the other. The beast of the field, the sword, the famine. Okay, and that sword is part of that persecution. Okay, that's why you see they have robots and all that stuff for that. Hey, these elites ain't looking to deal with you low-level crackers, because they already know y'all know how to order. You're not gonna listen. You don't want to. You're entitled. So they know they're gonna have to fight you, and a lot of you are gonna turn against them. So they're gonna have these robots that's gonna go there and go deal with your ass, man. Okay, drones that's gonna be flying around and shooting poison darts or spraying you with doggone chemicals that's gonna melt you. So you're gonna get those judgments. The Lord is gonna have those judgments come on your ass too. Okay, through what? The hands of your own doggone king. All right. You see, we have Jacob's trouble. It's going to be trouble for all of you. All right. It's not going to be just us going through hell. You're also going to go through hell. In fact, you're going through hell right now as we speak. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus 13 and starting with verse 4, and it reads, let's talk about why we always tell Jake not to trust this man. Each and every one of we've experienced this before. Some, and come on, Jake, you might deny it, but come on, you experience this too. It says, if thou be for his profit, he will use thee, but if thou have nothing, he will forsake thee. If thou have anything, he will live with thee, he will make thee bear, and will not be sorry for thee. If he have a need of thee, he will receive thee, and smile upon thee, and put thee in hope. He will speak thee fair, and say, what one is thou? So, Esau is a user. He likes to use. Mike Tyson should be dead by now without case of that. They washed him up, cleaned him up, gave him marijuana field like that, paid off all of his back taxes and all that stuff, and they realized a guy like this who admits that he's committed adultery a lot, mess around with other man's women, and just did a lot of atrocious things. He is the right kind of model that Esau wants to put out there for Jake Stemmer. Would you see with a lot of Jake Stemmer concerning Mike Tyson, they'll say, oh man, this guy, he's really a role model. He was down and out, he was all big and fat, and he was in jail, and he was always in trouble. Now look how mild and mellow he is, and he's this guy and all that stuff. So Esau them use a psychological way in which they create this guy that's supposed to be a terror, a loser, and how he could be revamped into this goody two-shoe guy that can be useful in society. But who is he really useful for? He's useful only for who? For Esau's use. Okay? He's playing y'all, man. Mike Tyson is a piece of shit. And he even said it himself. The Lord put a spirit in that dude to even tell you, he's a piece of shit. He said to this doggone day. You don't even know why he even living. All right? Okay, it says, and he will shame thee, or slack you. Let's go to verse 11. Affect not to be made equal unto him in talk, and believe not his many words. With much communication will he tempt thee, and smiling upon thee will get out thy secrets. Okay? This is how Esau was able to get to these other camps. Okay? I watched One Body in Christ, whatever the fuck their name is. Okay? And I watched IUIC back in the day. Okay? And a couple other ones, Wi-Fi. And they would send out these cryptic messages to Esau like, Esau them came and offer us some money. I wouldn't take it. Well, why the hell you gonna mention it on camera, especially? That's something y'all just talk amongst yourself. Okay. So he said they can figure out dudes that were friggin' they figure out those scripted messages. They can tell these guys for sure. They can look at your title or your lesson. They can tell you're a clickbaiter, okay? You know, Wi-Fi especially was notorious for putting up these stupid friggin' titles that had nothing to do with what they were supposed to be doing out there. And so they were doing a lot of things because they wanted to get their attention. Now you see they have matching T-shirts, insignia, and logo, and all that stuff like that. Okay, so they're being made use for Esau. So they've been compromised. Okay, and that's the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai doing His work. It says, "But cruelly He will lay up thy words and will not spare to do thee hurt and to put thee in prison." So how the hell could you be a 503 non-profit? How the hell could you get a matching T-shirt, get paid by this man to say certain things like that, in which you would doggone call him pedophile, call him all these things, and think that he's now going to take those same words that you say when they turn around, they start dragging us into the courtroom and say, "You said this and you said that. Did you not, or did you not say that?" Well, you told us that we could say that, and you were given a contract to say that, and you were told like that. Really? Do you have a piece of paper in hand? You're gonna get you guys are gonna get paid because you're so. See, that's why a little bit of education actually can help you. Okay, that's great that you can read the scriptures and all that stuff, but a little bit of education, understanding how things work in this society, okay, could actually help you to make a better choice. But of course, the Lord didn't put that spirit inside of you. Okay, He's gonna take all your video clips, He's gonna take all your videos and all your words, despite the fact that you're working for Him, and He's gonna say, "Well, you said it, okay, and according to blah 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 legislation, law, this and that, okay, that's treason or whatever the case is like that," and they can shit on you. Okay, that's why it says never trust an enemy. All right, let's go to Amos 1 and 11. Okay, but you know, y'all needed the money, I guess, you know, and it's easier to just get paid off, buy off, than to go work for it. Okay, and do without. Amos 1:11 reads, fuck off of me. "Thus said the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai, for 3 transgression of Edom, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever." So Esau never actually stopped persecuting us. We're being persecuted to this day. Okay, Jason been set up, put on a pedestal, thrown down. Eve. Okay, to this doggone day, they got the sword on us right now. Okay, they still, the prisons are still full. They're right now. Trump came and he said, if you're a green card holder, okay, which now this is going to impact. If that's the case, this is not only going to impact. This is going to impact every green card holder, despite what tribe you come from, whether you white, so-called white, black, whatever. Has to go back to their homeland country to apply to get their green card extended. Okay, so permanent residency green card, which is good for 10 years, you have to go back to your homeland. So one way, when you look at, if any of you remember about a year ago, there was, he had listed countries in which they are banning people, okay, from these countries for applying for visas or certain things like that. So imagine, what they're doing is they figure out a way how you could self-deport yourself, because really what that comes down to is self-deportation. You have your green card holder, you leave, go back to Cameroon or whatever. I'm just using Cameroon for example. And you apply. Their computer automatically is going to say Cameroon, reject. Automatic rejection. You didn't pay the fee. Automatic rejection. However, if you're in Europe, and let's say you go back to France, and you apply, okay, you're a European, and you apply, you're accepted. So they can get all the people out, so they can say, "Oh, we're not biased." But when you look at the people who are going to actually have their green card renewed, it's probably most likely going to be all Edomites. Okay, Edomites are from nations people that they think that are beneficial to the society. You know, maybe some certain Asian countries like Japan and Korea or South Korea or whatever, cases like that. But So this man is always thinking of ways and how he's going to get the poor. Okay? So anyone that has a green card and you're going to leave, you should have in your mind, you should have in the mindset that chances are you will now be returning back, not as a green card holder, maybe as a visitor, if that's possible. Or they might even ban you from not even be able to come here at all like that. So you better make a vision. And the fact is that pack up and go and call it a day permanently. So if you get a year or two, which we don't believe this place is going to be intact anyway. So those who are leaving like that, it may be a blessing in disguise. The Lord Yahweh Shemashai save your ass from what's going to be happening here. Because they're going to close these borders down. Okay? And it could be like that raid commercial with a roach motel. Roaches go in, but they don't come out. And that's basically how this place is being set up right now as we speak. Okay? Like how loud do you need to have that shit there to burst your eardrum? What a damn douchebag, man. This is Ezekiel 35 and Sound verse 5. And it reads, now, keep in mind that Esau has that endless hatred. We talk about that endless hatred, right? Persecuting Jakes. Okay? So, keep in mind here that, let's start with verse when it says, moreover, the word of the Lord Yahweh Shemashai came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it. So, we have to do this. Alright? And say unto it, thus said the Lord power, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, I will stretch out mine hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. So the Lord is going to make this place desolate. I put the word desolate meaning many times up, okay? State of mind is also a physical thing, okay? But you have desolation spirit right now going with these people out there crying and murmuring and bitching and moaning about, you know, their unhappiness. So everything that the Lord says he's going to do to this place is already happening. Okay, starting with the mind of these people that the spirit is, you know, the spirit is not the way it was a few years ago. It says, and say unto it, thus said the Lord power, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord, Yahweh Shemashai. So there it is. They are going to know that the Lord is doing this. People are going to start to realize that the judgment is coming from the Lord, Yahweh Shemashai, and that's when that fear really is going to start to kick in. Because we don't come out here and speak about from our own perspective. We speak from the perspective of the scripture. Everything is going to be done by the Lord Yahweh Shemashai. And we already seen the judgment says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. You continue to shed the blood. I just show you a picture here. Bug breaking, hit the nigger baby, alligator bait, etc., etc. Mass imprisonment, you know, whether you're guilty or not. Long sentences, I mean, just a whole lot of things here. It sets you up constantly, okay? The cops that will stop you, frisk, search you, set drugs up with certain jakes, all kinds of crap like that. Your parole is what? 10 years versus doggone the Edomites who get house arrest and all the other shit like that. So it's an unfair system and it's worked that way and this man has been doing it, okay? People are waking up now to the acceptance, and this is the reason why you see the great fear is falling on these elites, because they realize that, wait a minute, your mind games is not going to work on these people that are awake. It's not. Your mind games is not going to work, so it doesn't. Okay? We can accept that because why? We're going to have eternal life after the so-called death of this flesh. This ain't our true form, dumbass. All right? And you know it. It says, therefore, as I said, the Lord power will prepare thee unto blood, and blood should pursue thee. Said thou hast not hated blood, new blood should pursue thee. You crackers, Edomites that are sitting down thinking about you're going to sharpen your knives and get your guns together and go there and hunt jakes down. This is what's gonna happen to you. See, y'all like blood, and see, y'all think y'all gonna go there and go do what y'all did before, Jim Crow era, all that stuff like that. But what's gonna happen is you are going to have a counteraction from other Edomites, okay, who don't like your racist ass and who don't like you. That's why the Lord said, what? I'm gonna set Egyptians against Egyptians. See, you're gonna think you're gonna be coming after doggone helpless, doggone Negroes and Latinos and Hispanics, but Jake them gonna be strapped and ready for your ass. Okay, but on top of that, the Lord is going to put the spirit in these other Edomites who don't want you in their doggone town and doing bullshit. And they're going to friggin' doggone raise the sword up against their ass. So y'all going to be fighting against each other. Okay? Because what y'all going to be doing is going to be destructive. And if you think this government is going to allow you doggone, you tens of thousands or whatever the hell y'all think y'all are, Edomite men, go out there and go freaking ruin shit up before they can get established, you better think again. They're gonna fucking trim you all the fuck down with them doggone S&W, okay, semi-automatic weapon, okay, and drones and all that stuff. That's why y'all are listed as domestic terrorists, okay. So the Lord is going to have the blood pursue you Edomites, and that's the time that we're in right now. Is the blood, okay, or death is going to be chasing this man. Let's close over with the book of Numbers 23 and 19, okay. Numbers 23 and 19. Numbers 23 and 19. Where is it? Numbers 23 and 19. And it reads, Yahweh is not a man that he should lie, neither the Son of Man that he should repent. Had he said, and shall he not do it? Or had he spoken, and shall he not make it good? So, without a doubt, I can see it for myself. The Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai does come true. Okay? You pray sincerely to the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai, he does things for you. Okay? He does. Okay? He said he's going to destroy this place. He's going to bring the spirit of these doggone proud people down. He's going to break this. He's going to break the pride of these people. Okay? He's going to have these people lament. He's going to take those curses pursuant to Deuteronomy 30 and 7 and put it on these other tribes. Okay? And the comfort that these dog tribes had in this nation where they prosper, now you're seeing they're not prospering, because a lot of them, they come over here, they open up restaurants, small business, restaurant especially. Now, nobody can afford to go out to go eat. Nobody can afford to go drink. So they're losing that income. They can barely speak English. They have no skill set. So what else are they going to go? What else they have going for them? Okay? And Lord willing, I'd like to go delve into that a little bit, because I saw some interesting video clips, okay, concerning that with these other tribes, you know, that had their little family business, and then this family business is not going quite the way it is. Which means what? Without the government bailing your ass out, which that's not happening anymore. Okay, welfare reforms have been are now in place, and then you have what else? You have all these other things that legislation they're looking to bring. They're focusing on the NWO or bringing out the 6G and bringing out this B system or this digital system. They're not focusing on the damn port. They don't give a shit. So now, you people, you're not gonna have, whereas Jake had learned to hustle and still somehow make it and thrive and do something, you people now are gonna have to go and try to hustle your game in a very, very unforgiving environment, okay, in this time in Great Babylon, America. And that's not gonna work out well for you. Okay? Sooner or later, you mortal tribes, you so-called Asians, you Albanians, whatever the hell y'all are, you're gonna have to get out there just like Jake and go steal candy and go do bullshit or two, and then you're gonna be a target for these Edomites. All right? So, Lord willing, that the Father close by giving all great on to Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim, Kakadash, Shalom.